Being a property manager can be so much fun. There's so many elements of it which are really, really enjoyable, especially when, as a virtual assistant, you're working for some really fantastic clients. Now, having said that, there are some challenges. There are always challenges in any business and in any job, and it's, I guess, how you overcome them. If you're not a property manager already, let me give you a few little tips on probably 3 or 4 things which can be challenging as a property manager. Let's go. The 3 main things which I think most property managers will have an issue with, which is basically probably the whole business to be fair, is the tenants, the landlords, and the property themselves. Now let's deal firstly with the tenants. So the 3 main issues I think you'll probably come up across occasionally will be tenants not paying their rent because they have whatever excuse they have. They may all of a sudden decided that they need to get the council to pay their rent, therefore you have to wait 6 weeks for them to apply to universal credit. This obviously applies to the UK market. Other issues which happens with their rent, they have to pay for something, some emergencies come up. Ultimately, rent is generally at the bottom of their thoughts. Maintenance, they want maintenance to be done, immediately. As a property manager, a tenant's emergency is not a property manager's emergency. So I've said this in other videos before. A tenant may say, a corner of the carpet has come up. I need you to reseal it back down. I need to get new blinds. Those are very important because I can't sleep at night. That is not an emergency on behalf of a property manager or a landlord. Those things are not emergencies. And then when it comes down to a third thing as well is if you have a HMO, you're looking after lots and lots of multiple HMOs. The major problem can be broadband. Now, obviously, since COVID, lots of people are having to work from home, so we're finding lots of tenants now are working from home. Because of that, we're having lots of people who are now playing lots of games at home, lots of people who are watching videos at home. You've got a laptop, you've got your iPad, you've got, desktop computers, you've got mobiles, all sorts of devices. And this is just for one person. In a house of like 6 people, one person can have like 3 or 4 devices. That's a lot of devices that is put under strain from the broadband. So those are some of the challenges that you may have for tenants. There could be hundreds more like any other role, but these are the few that I have come across when working with property managers. Now, without these people, there'd probably be no property management business. These are landlords. We love them. We sometimes don't love them, but the majority of time we love them. There's 2 main complaints which I've come across working with property managers and letting agents. Those are mainly slow responses from landlords. You ask them questions, they come back really, really slowly. They've gone away. They're dealing with other things. They don't always check their email. They don't reply to text messages. They don't always answer their phones. Sometimes, whatever reason, it's just sometimes a bit difficult to get hold of landlords. And obviously, those who don't live in the country, getting a hold of them if they're abroad or they live abroad can be a little bit challenging. Even if you have WhatsApp, everyone knows WhatsApp. We can tell when you're online. We can see. You can't hide. Although some people do try. And the second thing is maintenance. So we do occasionally get landlords complaining about the cost of maintenance. We could source the ultimate cheapest tradesman, but sometimes landlords are just still not happy. The price is still too expensive. Obviously, on top of that, we're going to add our fee. That goes without saying. We've done all the work trying to find the tradesman, built up a relationship with them, negotiated with the tradesman on behalf of the landlord, back and forth with the tenant, allowing access. There's so much work that goes involved in getting maintenance done, as opposed to just saying, "Here, Bob, here's the keys, take care, crack on." No. A lot of work goes into it, and sometimes landlords don't appreciate the amount of work that goes into it. They may even have been used to you getting a specific price for a trade, but that specific tradesman may not be available anymore, or they've stopped working, or just so much things go into pricing for maintenance work. So much things have gone up. Costs of materials have gone up. Petrol's gone up. It affects so much different things, and landlords want to keep paying the same price. No. Your bills have gone up, our bills have gone up. We all have to pay extra together. So those are kind of things you have to deal with landlords. But we love them. We wouldn't have a business without them. In case you're not aware, I am Tanya, a property virtual assistant and an online business manager. I work with many people within the property industry, those being property managers, letting agents, estate agents, mortgage brokers, all sorts of people within the property industry. I've been within the property industry since 2012, and I also have an ALA qualification, that's Association of Residential Letting Agents. I have a qualification with them, and I'm obviously associated with them. So any issues that come up that my clients need assistance with, there's a legal team on with ALA who I'm able to call and get any sort of assistance I need on behalf of my own clients. So if you need any assistance in your business in the back end, helping you with your administration or helping you with certain strategies within your business, please send me an email. My name is Tanya at clearviewadministration.co.uk. Property. Property is probably the last issue that I'd consider when it comes to many challenges that a property manager has to deal with. When I say property, I mean that sometimes a property is absolutely fantastic and there's no issues with it, but mostly I mean those who have properties that are pretty much falling apart little bit by little bit by little bit. You're pretty much, replacing the property almost brick by brick as a property manager, because there's so much things that keep breaking down within the property, and sometimes the landlord may not have the budget at that time to fix it, or maybe they just don't feel it's very important that they need to fix it. Now, obviously, as a property manager, we have to make sure we look after the tenants, make sure they're safe, make sure they're comfortable, make sure that they enjoy the property and they're in no danger whatsoever. But some properties, as a property manager, we just know when the phone's going to ring and we hear the voice of a tenant, we think, oh no, what is broken today? There are some properties which are like that. So those are some of the issues that we deal with in terms of properties, just constant breaking down of certain things, mold here, damp there, a slate's dropped off here, a wall's crashing down there, all sorts of things. So as a property manager, we have to constantly be on top of all the maintenance of a property, and we're listening to our tenants. On the flip side of that, there are some properties which are so nice, absolutely picture perfect, and the landlord wants to get that property back in the exact same manner, not even taking any account of wear and tear. Like, they'll leave things in the property, they'll have a sauna in the property that they'll leave for the tenants to use. Obviously, some properties are really high end. Obviously, central London, you're going to have things like swimming pools in there, saunas in there, steam rooms in there, really high end quality kitchen appliances. But in the lower end of the or middle end of the market, those kind of things aren't necessarily essential, and they, if anything, when they break, as a property manager, we have to buy them back for the tenant because that's in the inventory. That was what was supplied to them, but the landlord sometimes doesn't want to buy that same thing again. They broke it, they can pay for it. Understandable, obviously, if they broke it, they paid for it. But if the item has come to the end of its life, if that really gorgeous, valuable, expensive item has come to the end of its life, the landlord has to pay. And sometimes that is like squeezing blood out of a stone. But I never said that. I never said that. Overall, being a property manager is so much fun. It's not all doom and gloom. There are some absolutely fantastic plus points to being a property manager. Now, obviously, I didn't talk today about the overcoming challenges that you're faced with as a property manager. I just literally wanted to highlight some of the funny things that can happen and the challenges that take place as a property manager. I will go in another video to give you details of how to overcome those specific challenges, because there are a few, and that, like I said, that happens in any role. So I hope you were able to, get a few, hints and tips of the kind of things that take place in the property management world. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I'd be really appreciative of it. You don't have to click on the notification bell, you just have to click on the red subscribe button, because that will then automatically let you know about when I'm uploading new videos. You don't have to click on the notification bell. At some point, you'll see my videos. I just need lots of subscribers, so please subscribe. Okay, please watch the next video because I've got so much more to share with you. Thank you.